got the hoodie on, go ahead.
I'm just wondering if you, this week with obviously another Saturday, Monday turnaround, did you flip the schedule at all? Guys get rest, or how does that?
Yeah, we did. We basically haven't done much of anything in the last 2 days, and so today will be our first practice.
And any final thoughts after watching the K-State tape? Anything stand out? Any frustrations or anything that you can pinpoint that got to get fixed or?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of things that we could get fixed. I actually thought that there were some plays that were close to being good plays and just weren't. You know, I think that we can shoot the basketball better. I think our shot selection could have been better. I thought they guarded us well. I thought we did some decent things, but the biggest thing, you know, was we had opportunities and we didn't take advantage of stops by finishing possessions, and certainly didn't take some advantage of, you know, free throw opportunities and things like that, which you have to do on the road. So yeah, I think a lot of things that we can certainly do better than we did Monday, but also, you know, it was I do think that we probably need to be a little bit more realistic in the fact that the expectations that we have should never ever vary, but the way we go about it could vary a little bit just because of a fatigue factor a little bit. And I thought that did show on Monday.
I was interested in what you said about kind of letting starters know in advance how long they'll have to play, so they kind of have a time they're going out. Just, I guess, how do you manage that, and how do you balance that with adapting to things as
well,
the flow?
It'll be you know, different based on foul problems, based on health, based on a lot of things. But you know, there's been a lot of times in the games that, you know, guys are at the 14-minute mark and you don't know if you're going to come out the rest of the game. You know, so just knowing that they're going to get a couple of breaks, and we'll try to you know, come up with a way to do a better job of subbing them, so that way, even if it's not a long break, it can at least feel like that they're able to, you know, rest a little bit more, even though the minutes may still read comparable to what they have been. They feel like that they've spent more time sitting during a game, even though the minutes are still comparable.
And then with Baylor just particularly limiting their offense, what is that going to require of you guys on the defensive end?
Well, we're going to have to, you know, our ball screen defense needs to be on point. Their point guard's terrific. He can get where he wants to go. He can post. He can back guys down. He's got great vision, and of course, and then they got a lottery pick on the wing, and you know that didn't even count, you know, Love, Bridges, or Nunn, or whoever else. So they got a terrific cast of players. They've done a great job in that regard, recruiting and developing, and so yeah, we'll have our hands full trying to come up with some ways to try to, you know, take away the perimeter and still yet not letting their two bigs expose us, you know, inside, which they're, you know, obviously both very talented.
You've seen a few cycles of what the portal means and can do and can be. Are you finding, and maybe this is across the country, not just here, are you finding, is it harder to build a bench and have those guys be kind of part of the continuity and all that because of this? No?
I don't think so. I don't think so. I think that, you know, we did a really good job in the portal getting what I consider to be the best player in the portal. But you know, we just haven't done as much good as what I think we potentially could have in maybe developing depth, in large part because of my decision to say that, well, we gotta take away 3 scholarships over 3 years, maybe we get 2 now, and if we stay healthy, and knowing that Zach would redshirt before he came, those are decisions that I made. So you know, I got no one to blame on those decisions but me and an NCAA ruling. So you know, there's no excuses. We can got 9 guys, and if you guys have ever watched us play in the past, I don't think we've ever played 10.
Right.
Yeah, we got enough. We certainly got enough.
I also wanted to ask you, what would you need to see or want to see from Jamari to see if he could get a few more minutes here and there, or more consistent minutes anyway?
Yeah, well, he's kind of in a tough spot because the best person for him to probably spell would probably be KJ. And he's a perimeter player and plays differently when he's in the game a little bit.
Yeah.
But I would say, defend, rebound, take care of the ball. It's not that complicated to me. But he certainly needs to have the opportunity to do some of those things, because I think KJ will be more effective if we can just get him a little bit of rest.
Across the conference, I think a lot of teams are struggling on the road. And Texas is the only team that has a winning record on the road. Just this year in particular, why is it so hard for teams to go on the road and get those wins?
I think it's always been hard to win on the road, without question. I think some teams are more equipped to win on the road than other teams, but I think it's always been hard to win on the road, and there's more competitive balance this year than what we've had in years past, I think. And it's been really good in years past, but I think it's even better this year.
Number 4 against, I think they're 13, 5 o'clock game. Will this be a replay of last week in terms of hype and enthusiasm of the fans?
I would think game day would certainly add something to it, without question. I think, I know we'll be jacked, and I'm sure, I know they'll be jacked too. So it'll be turned up, in similar fashion to what it was last week, but it'll be totally 2 different teams, 2 different styles, than what we played last week. So it'll be certainly a different game plan, going against them.
Hunter's threes, are you okay with them? Is he just in a slump, or are you okay with him?
Shooting 2 a game? Yeah, I'm fine with that. He needs to be able to stretch it. So he had 2 in the last game go all the way in and come out. He's a good shooter, but he's not shooting it from 3 like he did to start the season, obviously. And he hasn't shot it well in league play from 3, but there's going to be times, and in those particular 2 situations that he shot them, they were perfect shots at the perfect time, just didn't make them.
Are Baylor's freshmen a concern?
Well, yeah, they're both pros. So one of them's a lottery pick, and the other one's projected, I think, to go in the top 20. And when I say lottery pick, I'm not talking about top 14. I'm talking about top 5 or 6. Yeah, they're good, and then they got good experience to go along with it, and Dennis obviously has been fantastic for them, and so they've got a good team, and they've got the type of team that has a chance to still get better. I think it's because of the situation where they are playing some young kids.
One final thing, Ochai got traded today. Marcus, did you talk to the Raptors?
I haven't talked to the Raptors about Ochai.
And
I did not.
What do you think of the trade?
I don't know enough about it, and I don't know enough about the rosters, but Ochai wasn't playing a ton with Utah, so hopefully this will open up some opportunities for him. Hope not at the expense of our other guy. Grady had 22 the other night, which was fantastic. So, but no, it's a business these days, and so I think that sometimes we hope for things for our guys based on the appearance of a position, and I think that in the big picture we're looking at, okay, what's best for him to have a career, and hopefully this is a great opportunity for him to get some minutes and play enough, because he probably needs to be seen doing some things and playing well, just because of his age and number of years he's been in the league, new contracts coming up and stuff like that. So I think it'll probably be a positive for him.
Just something that happened in the world of college basketball since we were last here. Just what was your reaction to the Dartmouth ruling and the prospect of employee status in the future?
You know what? I'm not as up to speed on it as a lot of people. There's a lot of people administratively that thinks that's definitely the direction the world is going to, and maybe it is. I am so confused to have a total understanding of what's really going on and where college athletics is headed from a NIL, from a union, from a employee situation, from a lot of different things, from Title IX, and what it all really means. I really don't, I'm not smart enough to know how, what that all means. You know, there's a lot of people that think, oh, it's the worst thing for colleges if they become employees, and you hear the flip side, oh, well, it's going there anyway, it'd be the best thing. You know, are we gonna put everything in-house, or are we gonna keep it out of house? What's the role that universities can play on all this stuff? I think it's so so up in the air and so indecisive that it makes hard for people to operate not knowing certain things. You know, you got the Tennessee situation still out there, and that'll certainly impact NIL moving forward, depending on what that ruling is. And so it's just like, be nice in 2 years from now or 3 years from now that it's actually settled down and this is exactly how we know it's gonna be. You know, somebody talked, has NCAA lost all their power? Do we need to break off and go into, you know, 2 or 3 divisions? All the different things that is being rumored and said out there that I just think it's such an inexact science right now that I don't think anybody really knows what's going on.
I remember talking to Nick Timberlake at Media Day, and he said, hey, I come from a basketball family, I've never played in an NCAA tournament, and all those things. And I know he came here with high expectations. Is there a case and point where maybe a player can try too hard? Or, I mean, have you?
Nick's gonna impact us still down the stretch. Part of learning how to compete is knowing the difference between just trying hard and learning what gives you the best chance to be successful when you do try real hard. You know, whether it be purpose, poise, understanding what wins, feel, preparation, diet, strength training. There's a lot of things that go into it other than just in the time that you're out there and you're trying hard. So I do think there is some truth to that. You know, how many times have you seen guys try ridiculously hard and maybe try so hard that they get frustrated when things don't go well? I mean, that happens all the time in sports. Or a golfer that's trying so hard and he's got to hit this shot, he's got to hit this shot. Is he trying too hard to hit the shot, or maybe mentally some things just don't happen where you're not playing with the free mind as much as what you would because you want it so bad? That all goes into competing and getting at that magic level that gives you the best chance to compete and have success. And so I do think there's a gift to that. I'm not saying that's the situation with Nick at all, but I do think that there is something that trying hard is the bare minimum. Like if you don't try hard, why would you even coach execution? You know, that the try hard is the bare minimum. Now, even when you try hard, there's different things in trying hard that gives you the best chance. You know, part of trying hard is throwing a pick six and knowing you have to forget it the next time you throw it down and out. Part of trying hard is getting beat as a corner for a touchdown, and then are you just trying to guard your guy the next time, or do you have to get a pick six to make up for what you just did? You know, that you know, pressing, you know, there's a lot of that goes into it, but the bottom line is trying hard is the bare minimum, and there's no question Nick tries hard. He just hasn't had the opportunities, nor has it happened for him yet. So,
Kind of to follow up on that, El Marco looked like he was having a good game on Saturday, then he had the back-to-back turnovers, and then Nick looked like it was gonna be a steal and a dunk, and the ball went off of the official. Just bad luck? Is it and then confidence factor comes in.
Yeah, I don't think the deflection and off the official would create a situation where you lose confidence. I don't think that at all. So I don't feel that at all, and I actually think Nick's done a pretty good job rebounding and doing some other things for us. So you know, that's part of the thing. I think some of it is also having a feel for the situation, knowing that, you know, in this particular situation, there's so many times in athletics where as an individual, you know what you can do. You know you can make that shot. But making the shot, is that what's best for the team because you can make it? Because guys that shoot 20% can't make a shot. You know, is it better off to see a situation and understand in this particular possession, this is best for us? So I think that all goes into competing and understanding and all that stuff. And I think our guys are gaining on it. I think Marco, you know, you alluded to that, the couple of turnovers, yeah, he didn't hit that, but a lot of those, I think, is sometimes he puts himself in positions where it becomes more difficult than what it actually could be. And that's just experience, and he'll get that.
But when you were talking about the uncertainty of the future of college sports, are you someone who, when these decisions are being made, you want to be a part of those discussions, or do you skew more towards give me the rules and I'll make it work, whatever the rules are?
10 years ago, I would say I'd like to be a part of discussions. Right now, and going through the NCAA stuff that we went through, just tell me what the rules are, and we'll adjust. Like, I have absolutely zero interest in trying to get ahead of something by that, because, you know, we spent, you know, 5 or 6 years dealing with something that created more angst and frustration than anything that I've ever been through. And I'm just like, you know, whatever you do, just let me know and then we'll adjust. I think that's been my mindset far more so than how can I get in front of this? And that's probably a sad thing to say, but it's actually, you asked the question, I'm giving you an honest answer. It's how I feel at this point in time. I think that in my time in this sport, and the sport has been so good over time, and it will get good again. We will figure it out. It will balance out. We're just at a point now in college athletics where everything's up in the air. The way it looks now isn't gonna be the same way it looks 5 years from now. It's just up in the air right now. Every business goes through situations like that. Well, this isn't the way the pharmaceutical business was 7 years ago, or this isn't the way the trucking business was 5 years ago. You know, this is not the way the college sports was 7 years ago. We all go through changes, and right now we're just in a change. So, you know, would I like to be on the forefront of making decisions? And, you know, in theory, I think I got some good ideas, but, you know, I don't think that I'm gonna go lobby for Congress to come up and figure out, hey, what do you think, self, on how that's not gonna happen. And certainly, with what I've gone through the first 5 years, they're not gonna ask me anyway. So I'm not gonna spend a lot of time worried about some crap that they're not even gonna ask me about. So that's how I see it.
Anything else? The government might ask you that.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. There could be a couple of senators, you know, ask me about certain things. And to your point, Jerry Moran has. So yeah, stuff like that. But that's actually a good point, Gary. That at that level, maybe.
Yeah.
But as far as me hunkering down and arm in arm with the NCAA saying, okay, how can we work together to fix this? I don't have any interest in, you know, doing that.
All right, thanks.